Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. So I just finished recording Kaiju and Volume 18 of Alita, so no big kind of prelude before we dive into the last volume of Last Order here. Like I mentioned in the other videos, look for a channel update sometime tomorrow with the details of like upcoming read-throughs and things. Now that Last Order is almost complete. Like I mentioned in a couple of other videos though, I figure I'll mention this out at the outset here. I'm not going to dive into Mars Chronicle right away, just because I have a bunch of other series I'm doing read-throughs for the channel for that I need to kind of cover first before I can dive into those ones. So unfortunately it's not going to... I will eventually get to Mars Chronicle, but I need to finish those other series first. So with that said, without further ado, let us dive into Battle Angel Alita, Volume 19. With chapter 116, Alita Quest 10. And we pick up back in Farm 21 where the Barjack troops exploded the nuclear reactor and there's a giant explosion just blowing away everything. And as Figure's driving away, you see just this giant mushroom cloud with a boom silhouetting the background. And Figure's like, that explosion. Damn it, this is the second time I've seen it. And Rivet's like, oh no, the nuclear boiler. And Ito's like, Kana! As they just gun it and ride away. And you see Twin Hill, 10 kilometers east of Farm 21, rendezvous point with Kana. And you have Figure going, something's coming. It's like, is it Kana? It's like, no. Oh, and you see the mangled corpse of the triplet, whatever machine, coming towards them. You have Vita going, Kana! Jeff feet the birds as the figure drops. Kana's kind of body, which has been kind of like bisected nearby before it wobbles and collapses with a thum. And you see that she is indeed dead, and you don't Figure kind of grieve and cry over her. And you see on the next page the kind of they bury the body with a little cairn. And you see 3 leaders in Bashaku town. You have Figure just slamming his boss, fists against some bars. He goes, "We're innocent!" And you see Ito going, "It's no use. We're scapegoats." Figure's like, "Damn, we barely survived the attack. And after all that Kana did for us." And you see, we found shelter in this town afterwards, where they brought us to the town council for an inquiry. And you see, "What have you done, Steed?" He's like, I just wanted to avenge my daughter and her husband's debts and fight for justice. Excuse me. Whoa. I feel like I had to sneeze there for a second. It wasn't enough to exploit us from the Sky City. They come down and cut us up like cattle. Can they get away with it just because they're Teferians? No. Somebody has to show them. The surface dwellers are neither cattle nor cowards. And you see, is there proof that Doc Ito is Nova? And you see Rivet just in ecstasy going, "He is Master Nova who will give us the final solution. After all, myself, Zapper, said so." And you see his testimony is rejected. Jeff, why? And you see Figure thinking, Kana entrusted this disc to me. Now is the time to use it. It should prove Doc Ito's innocence. And you see them watching the recorded video of Ito and talking about how he deleted his memories. And she goes, Ito's video to Alita, leaving the message that he was erasing his memory after Nova told him the secret of the Teferians. And you have Figure going, I don't like how he's so overfamiliar with Alita. But he heard it from Nova, meaning they're different people. That's it then. And you see Ito going, I'm so glad I'm not Nova. The council's like, this isn't definitive proof. He's like, what? It's like, he can't vouch for himself. Figure's like, how could this be? It's like, it could all be a charade. It's like, Nova would do that. And you see Figure going, Kana gave her life for this disc. It was all for nothing? And you see a bip and a is this recording? Because you see Kana's face on the camera, she's just tapping away at it. And she goes, I didn't really want to show this to Doc Ito, but things are getting weird. I'm taping this just in case. There was more to the video. Kana had recorded it the day before the attack. If he saw this, I thought Doc Ito would get his memory back and leave me to go find Alita again. I'm such a bad girl, always so selfish. Doc Ito is the one who'd suffer the most. Even if he gets his memory back, even if his brain is a biochip, Doc Ito's Doc Ito. He'll always be rooting for you. Do your best. As you pip, the video ends, the disc ejects, and you see Ito kind of just smiling. His figure is like, it wasn't for nothing. Couldn't be. Doc Ito, how do you feel towards Kana? Did you get your memory back? What was your relationship with Alita? I want to ask, but I feel it would just put me in a bad place. I'm such a sissy. And you see the council going, murder of over 400 people. The contamination of farmland and waterways around Farm 21 by the reactor explosion. We've suffered huge losses. Whether Mr. Steed's claims are true or not, we cannot condone such atrocities. However, this town doesn't have the laws to judge such a crime. Mr. Steed will be jailed until his punishment is decided. The Desert Co. and Mr. Steed's assets will be confiscated. This wouldn't have happened if Dr. Rivet hadn't spread his delusions. He will receive treatment at an isolated facility. And you see him being dragged away as he goes, "You're the ones who need treatment! Let me go!" And you see Dr. Ito and Mr. Figure. As for your punishment, you will be executed by firing squad in 2 days. Jeff, what? Ask yourselves the reasons why. This meeting is adjourned. Figure's like, hey, I need a better explanation. Oh, excuse me. He goes, damn, this is ridiculous. We're victims here. And you see Ida going, by executing us as Nova's co-conspirators, they want to establish as fact that Nova is dead. As long as there are people who bear grudges or worship Nova, there will be more cases like Farm 21. That's what they fear. He's like, and that's okay with you? Does that make sense? It's like, of course not. Well, I'm not Nova. It means the real Nova is alive somewhere. I can't roll over and die with that over my head. And Figure's like, I can't die until I see Alita either. Once we get to Alita Quest 11. Next we have, oh no, somebody help. Come quick, it's Doc Ito. He's so loud in here. What's going on? And you see that they're doing a stage where it looks like they made it look like Ito's hung himself in one of the cell bars. Figures like, he was like this when I woke up. Please take his body out. The guard's like, good grief. And he takes his cigarette, his lit cigarette, and just pops into the cell on Ito's head, where it just sizzles away. And you have a youch! Ito just slaps it off. He's like, ha ha ha, you couldn't hold out a little longer? It's like, he figured it out. You see a thunk and a gah! As he hits him with a stun baton. He goes, you think I was born yesterday? You were going to break up by playing dead. It's obvious. It's like, you're a tough nut. It's like, so you're going to be executed tomorrow. You want to know why it's by firing squad? It's like, not really. It's when the town was small, hanging was good enough. But with industrialization came more cyborg prisoners, and we had to come up with an alternative. Beheading, electric chair, quartering, steamroller. We tried everything, but they weren't reliable, or too much trouble, or cost too much. After all that, the firing squad was adopted since it can kill for certain. Everyone from flesh to heavily armored cyborgs. So here it is. This bullet is .50 caliber, 12.7 millimeter. One of these huge babies, kaboom! Blast into your noggin at 800 miles per second. Any blockhead will explode like a water balloon. And he's just pushing up against Figure's face, like trying to push into his nose. He goes, just imagine the sight of it, and wait for your unavoidable death, while you repent for your sins. And he was like, but we're innocent. He's like, everyone on death row says that. I'm not the one who decides who's guilty. We just do our jobs. Ugh. You see on the next page, dragging another prisoner out for execution. You have, no, it's not my fault. I don't want to die. But just you wait. You'll be next after this dimwit. And you see Figure rush into the windows he's watching, and you hear a kablam. It's like so efficient, like an assembly line. It's so close by. Once we're dragged out there, it's over. If we have a chance, is when the guard opens the door and comes in. Java, now! As he tries to whip around, and he goes, Urk! And you see wait long, it's your turn. And you see, as the guard comes back, the cell doors open. He's like, hey, they escaped. Find them. And you see, over here. It's like, hop in. And you see two people are helping him out into this busted old car. Jeff, it's a piece of junk, but it's yours. The optician got this for you. Prescription goggles. And Ito's like, oh, thanks. But why risk yourselves to save us? And they go, you might have forgotten, but you save people we both know. You never abandon even the poor. This is to return the favor. Jeff, hey, you guys! It's like, you found us. Let's go. It's like, go down this street. There's a bit of traffic, but don't worry. It's like, don't think you can get away with this. And you see they distract the guard by dropping some crates on them. As they try to go down the street, you see that they're being dropped by a guy with his donkey, whose cart is just moving at a slow clip-clop. He goes like, there's traffic, all right. We can't go forward. He's like, the horn's broken. He's like, hey, old man, we're in a hurry. Could you make way? The old man's just like, hey. Yeah, stop or we'll shoot. He's like, oh, should we ditch the car and make a run for it? And you see on the next page, they're running down by a stampede of cows. And you see another farmer with a wagon and a donkey comes up behind him. Do you have a cart on both ends? It's like, no worries. We won't let him lay one finger on you. It's like, Doc Ito, you'll need good boots to travel. It's like, I don't have any money. It's like, don't mention it, just take them. Pair for you too. I guess the size from your sandals. Hope it fits. Figure's like, thank you. You have beans and salt. It's all I have. Take them. And you see Wawa is like water. A tent and sleeping bags, all yours. You see all these people just tossing all these supplies into their car. It's like, thank you. It's like, thank you. And you see, take these, have this. It's like, Doc Ito, take care. We love you. It's like a parade. And you see this little girl giving him some flowers. As the cart man finally moves out of the way and makes room for Figure and tips his hat towards him. Figure gives him a thumbs up as they head towards the checkpoint. The guy just salutes as he lets him through. And as they're running as they finally are out of the city limits, they finally let out this deep whew, as their just panic sets in like, huh, what the heck? It's like I'm in a dream. It's like, sorry, Doc Ito, I thought you were useless. It's like, oh, come on. But your good deed saved us. Everything you've done led to this. Ito's like, yeah, the world's not such a crummy place after all. So we get to Alita Quest 11. And you see remains of granite in Nova's secret lab. You see, it's no use. It's all underwater. Thought there might be some clues here, but there are no signs that anyone's been here in about a year. Have you remembered anything? He's like, no. I remembered how Kana and I escaped from here, but nothing before that. We left here almost 3 years ago. He's like, would you get your memory back if you hit your head or something? He's like, probably not. He's like, knowing the brain biochip's programming, if I deleted my memories, restoring them would be impossible. He goes like, I see. Is Nova dead or alive? This guy, I think he's still alive. Figure's like, why do you think so? Goes, a hunch. No, more like my wish. Ito survived and escaped, and Alita went after him. Isn't that why she hasn't come back to you? Figure's like, oh, I didn't think of that. Wow. What's that called again? A syllogism? And you have Ito going, if Nova's alive somewhere, he'll have to pay for toying with so many lives. You see on the next day that the truck's exploding into flames as Figure's like, this is beyond me. You see, it's served us well for so long, and they take off on foot again as they come to a little desert oasis. Jeff, now what? And you see, stay tuned for a report on the second half of the Motorball Grand Prix right after these messages. Jeff, don't change the channel, Vector channel. And you see, the Killing Angel rises again. As Figure just does a spit take and spits out all his ramen. Jeff, hey, what the heck is this? He's like, I'm getting the signal from the scrapyard. You know her? Jeff, tonight, the battle for the scrapyard's fate begins in outer space. All right here on the Vector channel. Figure's like, this has to be it. It's Alita. It's like, come on, Doc, we're going to the scrapyard. It's like, outer space? What does it mean? Figure's like, they're just trying to get your attention. We'll find out when we get to the scrapyard. He's like, Alita, what's she like? He's like, what? Haven't you met her? He's like, I was wondering what you like about her. He goes, well... And he thinks back to her as he sees a giant flash in the sky. You have what? A meteor? It's like, boom. Yeah, minutes later, it's like, what in the world? Did something really happen in space? And we pick up where we left off now with Alita Quest 13 back on the little truck that they got a ride on. Yeah, the wreckage blew all the way out here. This is worse than we thought. And you see the Teferis is now kind of plummeted down to the sky into the scrapyard. You see outside the scrapyard, along with the loss of electricity, the hydro wall is gone and the place is full of refugees. And you see Koyomi hanging on to this little wet pipe, and she's going, "Help me! You have ooh!" And just as she's about to fall off, where's my mouse? Just as she's about to fall off, a figure grabs her arm and goes like, "Gotcha!" He's like, "I'm Koyomi. This is Chavez. Are you looking for Alita, mister?" He's like, "Mister, I'm only 23, you know." And she's like, "You should ask Chaos." He's like, "You mean of Radio Chaos?" So he was here. It's like, "This way." Yeah, Vector building. It escaped damage through its solid construction and now serves as a shelter camp for victims. You have Doc Ito, you're alive. It's me, Walsh. I used to run Bar Kansas. Koyomi was like, "Pops, you're a mess." It's like, "Koyomi, don't you remember? Doc Ito used to change your diapers." And she kicks him off like, "Drunkers should stay in their tents." And figures like, "He's your father." She's like, "Huh." And you see, "Nice to meet you. I'm Chaos." And you see his telemetry working with the army goes, "We all seem to be oddly connected to Alita somehow. So see, you knew her too." And Chaos goes, "First things first. Alita's not here. She's in space." They're like, "What? Space?" Figures like, how am I supposed to go there?" He goes, "Listen to the whole story. As you can see, this town has been destroyed. Most of the buildings collapsed in the downburst from all the fall of Teferis. The factory shut down and riots are breaking out. This whole thing is making many people anxious. To solve these problems, I plan to go to Teferis and then Katheri's above it." It's like, "What? But how?" He goes, "By building a cable car on the slopes of the pile. We've already started construction." And Koyomi was like, "Wow, you're going to Teferis? I want to go too." Like, "So will we, right?" And he said, "Look out, get back." As the sand rush as the Teferis starting to fall apart. It's like, I thought this would be simple. It's too easy to cause a landslide. Will we ever build this cable car? And you see Ito's working away on, what the hell is his name? Walsh. He goes, "What a sloppy job." It's like, "We had fun then. You and Alita, gone in the hunters." And you see necrotic tissue with the joints. The pressure on the sacral nerve will affect the internal organs. It's like, "This might hurt." He's like, that hurts, damn it." He goes, "Don't bother with my legs. But Doc Ito, if you see Alita, apologize for me. The last time I saw her, I said something horrible. Thinks back when he told her you're nothing but trouble. He goes, my life is full of regrets." And Ito goes, "Make your own apologies." He's like, "But," he goes, "let me say one thing." You see back in Vector's control room as he goes, "Send the chainsaw gang to control the riot in Oilless." He's like, "I don't care. I'll talk to Rust. Use the Colossus squad to fight the fire in Rottenbit. Call the motor ballers to transport relief supplies." He goes, "So, Chaos, you're taking them to Teferis?" He goes, "Yes. They'll be useful in convincing Alita. She's indispensable to our negotiations with the great powers of space." He goes, "There seems to be trouble upstairs, but I hope you bring back good news." And you see Koyomi kind of sadly hugging Chavez. She goes, "What should I do, Chavez?" You see early morning Koyomi, and you see that Walsh has been set up with a new pair of treads. Literally a new pair of treads. And he goes, "Where are your legs, Pops?" He's like, "Hey, Doc Ito gave this to me. Isn't this awesome? A caterpillar track is just what a man needs." And she's like, "It doesn't reek of booze. That's rare." And you see, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Well," and you see, "Great scoop, Koyomi. As a Screwhead Times correspondent, go get pictures of the truth about Teferis." And Walsh was like, "So? It's your chance to get famous." And she's like, "Well," Chaos goes, "You can go with me to Teferis, but you can't take your dog. I hate dogs." Like, "What should I do? I can't leave, Chavez." Walsh is like, "Okay, I'll take care of him for you." She's like, "Huh?" He's like, but, like, "Stop worrying and go check out the world above." She's like, "Can I really trust him?" And Walsh goes, "Doc Ito said, my job isn't to wallow in memories, but to build a place where people can relax. I want to rebuild Bar Kansas. The dead won't come back to life, but when you, Doc Ito, and Alita come back home, they'll need a haven." And she goes, "Yeah." And you see the cable car was completed, and the day came to go to Teferi's. And you see Chavez, you be a good boy. He's like, Koyomi, don't drink the water. She's like, sheesh, I'm not a kid. Figure's like, why don't you at least say goodbye? She's like, nah, it gets to his head if I show him a bit of sweetness. And she looks back and takes a picture of them, and she goes, I'll be back soon. As we get to chapter 120, Alita Quest 14. Yeah, wow, it's so huge. To think our people built this long ago. Amazing. Chaos goes, our long history of division will come to an end. The day of reconciliation between the surface and Teferi's has come. And you see Ito thinking back to Chaos, telling him, the man you seek, Nova, is there. You should brace yourself. And he's like, Nova's in Teferi's. You see, woo! Yikes, it's falling apart! And you see the cable car just kind of shakily going over some rubble. So keep the weight over even or we'll be derailed. And you see, ooh, somehow we made it. I thought we were goners. It's weird. There's nobody to greet us. Marge knew we were coming. Did something happen? So let's head up. And they head up into the empty city. As you see, wow, awesome, it's so futuristic. See Koyomi's just taking a bunch of pictures. She goes, but it seems a bit desolate. Somebody pose for me. It's like, huh? Where'd everybody go? You see Figure going, I'd like to go to the space as soon as possible, but I suppose that's not happening. You have an ow and a bonk as he smacks his head on a statue and goes, what? Doc Ito? You have, hey, can anybody hear me? You see, we didn't even notice that we lost each other. Did we get a case of highway hypnosis? And you see, highway hypnosis is a state of decreased consciousness that occurs while driving through a monotonous landscape. The difference between this and falling asleep is that the person has no awareness doing so. You see a tink and a swoosh. As the cardboard box moves, you have his, anyone there? He sees a half-eaten piece of bread, and as he picks it up, you see this giant hand looming behind him. You have the teeth marks are human. And we see the little bridge forest area Marge's group was. And you have Chaos going, soup left eaten. Reminds me of the Mary Celeste. It's odd. I can't read anything with psychometry. So we should rest a bit and go look for Marge. As he looks around, he goes, where is everyone? And the next thing you hear, Kya! As you see a bunch of television screens with Flan Nova's face on it, cackling away. Chaos is like, Nova! This guy was careless. We should have been wary of an attack as soon as we saw there was no welcome. We walked right into a trap. And you see Flan Nova going, welcome to Teferi's. I've prepared a wonderful game for you. You see Koyomi, Doc Ito, everyone. He goes, you'll play a simple game of luck with the lives of the people shown hanging in the balance. The game is called Death Checkers. The rules are simple. Press your rescue button within the time limit. And Chaos is like, I'm not going to play such a stupid game. Flan goes, you have the choice not to press any buttons. Let's see what happens in that case. And you see, yeah, Teferi's is mine. Stop it, Kippa. And you see a splat and a Kippa. It's like, what have you done? Oh, Lord. You see Flan Nova going, press the landmine button, or if you do nothing and time runs out, someone will die at random. Don't forget, you are also part of this. If you, the player, dies, everyone will die. 8 lives remain, so there will be 8 rounds. There are 8 mines and 8 rescue buttons, so the odds are 50-50. The type of button pressed will not be replenished. Let the game begin. You see the counter counting down from 29. As Chaos goes, calm down. I can use psychometry. He tries to make like a smiling beatific face as he tries to do it. And he freaks out. He's like, I can't read anything. Flan's like, yeah, no cheating. Psychometry is the ability to read the biomagnetic traces recorded on an object's scalar resonance field. To make the game fair, this board has been demagnetized. And Chaos is like, wait, hold on, there must be another way, but no time. You see 3 seconds. He's like, I must press a button. He trembles as he presses down on a black button. Jeff Slano just slowly clapping as he goes, the rescue was a success. Nobody had to die. You see Chaos just sweating heavily. As Nova goes, look at you, and that was just round 1. This doesn't bode well for you. 7 more rounds. Shall we continue the game? I'm not going to go over the rules. It's chapter 121 as we get to chapter 15, or Alita Rescue 15. And you see Chaos gets to round 3 without any casualties. And you see nothing is difficult now, things get difficult from here on out. In round 4, out of 13 buttons, 8 are mines and 5 are rescue buttons. The chances for rescue are 38%, and if we keep going, even if I never press a mine, in round 8 the odds are 8 to 1, 11%. It's impossible and absurd. And Flan Nova goes, I'll teach you the trick to this game. If you try to save everyone, the probability for survival decreases. The final survival rate will increase as long as you press a moderate number of mines. Press a mine 4 times, sacrificing 4, and the odds of survival at round 8 increase to 56%. Of course, since you can't intentionally pick a mine, it might not work out. The point is, prioritize your own survival and stop worrying about the casualties. That's the optimal attitude for this game. And Chaos goes, I demand a change of rules. Lano was like, a rule change? It's like, I'm the one you're after, right? Then don't involve others in this homicidal game. You and me, let's play a game with only our lives at stake. I challenge you, Destiny Nova. He goes, you don't get it. The pleasure of Death Checkers is wagering on others' lives. The game also tests your potential as a leader. The prodigal son, fancying himself a troubadour, now he shows up in Teferis as a leader from the surface. Well, what father would pass up putting him to the test? Chaos is like, it's too bad. I heard you helped Alita get to Theories. I thought we could work together if you've had a true change of heart. It's so unfortunate. Flano was like, a change of heart? I have no idea what you're talking about. It was multiple isotopes of mine showing up made me adjust my approach. But I did not change, I merely adapted to the changing circumstances. I don't care. As for changing the rules, I cannot accept your proposal, but I just thought of an interesting alternative. The Merciless button, and you see a button with this skull popping up. Well, that shining red button is a mine button that's been made visible, but it's not just any mine. It kills someone besides you at random. Like someone besides me, you say? That tantalizing button there will guarantee your safety and allow you to avoid an accidental game-ending move that would kill everyone. Flan is merciless. Round 4 begins now. Chaos goes, the fool. He's trying to make me into a murderer. There are 13 total buttons besides the merciless one. 7 mines, 5 rescues. About 42% chance of rescue. The odds have improved from before. He's like, wait, hold on, think. If I press a mine and I die, I won't be the only one. Game over means everyone will die. If we're annihilated, there won't be anybody to stop Nova anymore. There's a reason Nova acted now. Since Catheris has been weakened, he can take over Teferis and make the entire surface into his laboratory. We must prevent another repeat of Granite Inn. I must survive. If I press the merciless button all 5 times, 3 of us at least will survive for certain. No, wait. Why go on the premise of sacrifice? Even if I leave it to chance, the odds of game over is only 7.3%. Then I should count on this 42% where everyone survives. So, but wait, there's always a chance. Probability is mere theory. Things happen every day that are statistically improbable. Should I entrust our lives to such a number? It will sacrifice the few and choose certain survival. If I hesitate to press this button, and you see him just slamming down with the clink, and you see that he's pressed the white button right before the skull death one. Fla Nova goes, Chaos, my son, you always disappoint me. Unfortunately, that button is a mine. And you see a splat. Oh, as Ito's head apparently goes rolling. And you see an explosion as it rolls away. It's like, wow! It's like, Ito's the one who died. It's like, pity. I would have liked to chat with him once more. And you see Chaos just screaming and crying as he goes, he died! He died even at 42%! It's like, I'm sorry, Doc Ito. I'm sorry, Alita. It's like, I don't know. What was I supposed to do? Flano was like, yeah, dead is dead. Think positive. Thanks to his death, the survival rate of the others improved. And he goes, I see. Death is unavoidable. That's the nature of this game. Thinking I could get away without casualties was a trap. In that case, oh. You see Chaos just grabbing his pinky and snapping and breaking the finger. Flan Nova's like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "This is an admonition to my naivete and a reminder of my comrade's lost life. I will no longer hesitate. We will survive." As he gets ready to press the skull button, and he goes, "Their deaths will not be in vain. I will live, and I swear I will kill you, Nova." He goes, "So, you're going to break a finger every time you press the merciless button and someone dies. Good, good. I wanted to see you steel your resolve like this." He goes, "Begin round," and you hear, "That's enough." And you see Ito? It's like, "What? I thought he died." And he goes, "I see. Decoy, God. Decoy Nova number 84. You did this." And you see Ito going, "Decoy here told me everything. You've been doing some horrible things to your clones." Was Decoy Nova is indeed a reproduction, but they are inferior versions whose intellects are suppressed to below average levels. Ugh. It's like nobody has a right to complain that I vivisect myself. And you see this laboratory where he's just taking apart various different clones of himself, like pickle them in jars. He goes, "I was taken aback when the decoys asked for my help." It's like, "Poor guy." It's like, "But we fooled Nova. I carelessly let a few decoys die in my experiments, so I was aware of the possibility of stray decoys. To think they're showing defiance to me this way. How very interesting." And as he's rushing forward, Ito's rushing forward, Flan Nova goes, "Don't get any closer. If I press this key, all of them will die. Game over." And you see Ito without hesitation swinging this giant hammer as he smashes the board along with Flan Nova's hand with an "Aye!" He goes, "You've toyed with people's lives too much. You will pay now." So you get to chapter 122, Alita Quest 16. And you see Decoy 84 going, "Wait, you can't kill him." He goes, "I know. The airborne nanomachine regeneration system stereotomy will endlessly regenerate him even if he does die. And his wounds are instantly healed by the restorer nanobots in his body." He goes, "But," as he smashes his ankle, "if I crush his limbs like this, it should take some time to regenerate." He goes, "Don't worry, Chaos. I disabled the death checker system." Chaos like, "I see." And he was like, "Anyway, I must have been a more vicious man than I imagined. This hammer feels so natural in my hand. Did I used to be a blacksmith before I erased my memory?" And Flan Nova goes, "That coat and hammer. I thought you'd regained your memories. I guess not." And Decoy's like, "I gave him that coat." "You can talk?" It's like, "That was quick." And he just starts slamming him with the hammer again. It's like, "Doc Ito, wait." It's like, "Nova, I must ask. Where are Marge and the Teferian children?" Ugh. It was after I sampled their molecular data, I reverted them to protoplasm soup for my chemical experiments. Chaos like, "How could you? You killed them all, even the children." He goes, "No, you misunderstand. I made them temporarily go away so they won't interfere with my plans. I have all their data so they can be regenerated at any time. Their bodies, their memories up to the point of sampling, even their clothing. So by using the same technique as stereotomy, it's as if people recorded beings to be played back. How terrifying. It's like, of course you become indifferent to life and death with technology like this. And you see, it seems Nova X's route and plan end here, but my other isotopes will continue my research with a different approach. Flan is for reminiscing. Ito, don't you want your memories back?" And he stops and goes, "What?" It was 11 years ago you were killed by Zapan. I gathered the pieces of your brain biochip. I reconstructed the neuron model according to karmatronic theorems, and from there built you back as a human being. The backup data has remained in my internal nanomachine storage. I programmed that into memory implantation nanomachines, which can be found in these capsules. Your memory since your birth as a Teferian, your life with Alita until your unexpected death at my house, all within these capsules." Ito just looks at him with disdain and goes, "So what? I'm not making a deal. You end here." Flan Nova just smiles. He pulls the pills off to the side and he goes, "This is my gift to you. You're free to take it or throw it away. I flattered myself as a genius, but the designer of this brain biochip in our heads, this tiny chip invented 200 years ago that perfectly recreates human brain function, that is the true genius. Yet that person's name was never recorded in history. In the past few weeks, I hacked into the archives at Catherius to identify this designer. Who do you think it was? It was of all the possibilities, it was Malachi. So what are you trying to say? That a giant computer is controlling humans through the biochip? He goes, all that is trivial. The point is that Malachi stores information far beyond what humans could understand. It stores the truths of the universe, and almost nobody realizes the importance of this. If I could only access the information stored by Malachi, my research would advance by leaps and bounds. You see a fish as he's just like locked away in this weird ass grimace. As you see, he was placed in cryo storage under life support. This will put an end to Stereotommy's infinite regeneration. Later, with Decoy's help, Chaos and I went about regenerating Marge and the Teferian survivors. Whereas Stereotommy takes 6 days, the MIB facilities can regenerate large numbers of people in a short amount of time. By the time Figure and the rest showed up hungry at Teferi's park, you see a fish as all these capsules are opening up and all the Marge, Pam, Nola, and all the others are coming out. Huh? Where am I? So my soup is gone. Like, Tanker, where'd you go? You see, Nova had sampled our data as well, so Geppo was also regenerated. You got that cyborg, brat. It's like, whoa, a robot. Shoot lasers from your eyes. It's like, no. You see Marge and Chaos shaking hands. Jeff, we explained that Nova had put them to sleep. We decided to keep the fact they had been killed to ourselves. You see Chaos was wobbling as he falls and goes, are you okay? So Chaos passed out from fatigue and had to rest for 3 days. You see they have a welcome to Teferi's celebration party. See later that night, Ito's hanging out on one of the railings. This figure comes up to join him. He goes, we did it. It's like, yes. It's like, Kaina's soul rest in peace as they clink their beers. It goes to Kaina and all the souls made to suffer by Nova. It's like, so, what will you do now, Doc? It goes, Marge asked me to stay in Teferi's and help with the restoration. It's like, not bad. Teferi's was where you were born, right? It goes, yes, not bad. Lights are going back on down there. The jocks must have restored the power supply from Teferi's. Those engineers left the party early to go back to work. Such hard workers. Excuse me. Chaos is feeling better, so we'll be going to Catherius tomorrow. I'm going to space. Alita's waiting there. Even if we part ways, we'll always be friends. It's like, yes. Figure waves goodbye. And you see that he was taking out Nova's pills. It was my lost memories. And you see psychometry doesn't reveal any suspicious behavior from Nova's past actions. It's exactly as Nova explained. It seems to be a nanomachine that dissolves in the body. I suggest throwing it away. Who knows what kind of side effect or trap there could be. You see Daisuke Ito, the gentle doctor. That was a persona Kaina created out of her own wishes. No matter how comfortable it was, it's not the real me. I'm much darker. That hideous joy that welled up from deep within as I punished Nova. I'm someone who enjoys those things. No matter what horrible things you may face. But she thinks back to Kaina telling him, no matter what horrible things you may face, don't lose sight of yourself. He goes, goodbye, Kaina. Even if I can't look my true nature in the face, I have to get myself back. I won't forget you, ever. He slams back the pills with a gulp of beer. You see, the next day, orbital elevator boarding gate 1. Jeff, we'll stay to fix the infrastructure. Jeff, thanks. Marge goes, take care of things to Pam. She goes, come back soon. And Ito was like, I'll go too. It's like, Doc Ito. It's like, I wanted to see your reunion with Alita. It's like, yeah. It's like, Catheri's, here we go. As we get to Alita Quest 17, Chapter 123, we have, here we are, Catheri's. You have, what's this? It looks like it's under construction. And you see all the robots just building away, putting all these panels together. You have, the air's bad. It's like, watch your step. It was like, it feels so light. Like, someone's here. It's like, what's going on here? Are you from the surface? It's like, oh, brother. See, I'd like to see your leader. Was this Yanni? I think that's Yanni. Take my advice. You should leave. It's like, why? Catheri's isn't a human city anymore. It's where robots rule. A few months ago, Embodied's atrocities were exposed during the Zot finals, and there was a riot. The so-called residents of the ideal city were nowhere to be seen. When the indiscriminate vandalism was about to affect the life support systems, countless robots appeared out of nowhere and brought the riot under control. We came to our senses ashamed of our actions. We admitted we were unable to govern ourselves, and transferred sovereignty of theories to Lambda Namnam, the king of robots. Koyomi's like, awesome, that's so sci-fi. Figures like the scrapyard to fair is shocking enough. Robot City doesn't faze me anymore. Marge is like, but you're okay with this? The floor, walls, ceiling, water, air pressure were all possible through the robot's untiring maintenance. It was wrong of us to have ignored their existence all this time. Glory to the robots, fortune to their people. And Chaos goes, then take me to Lambda Namnam, the king of robots. We can't have you do that kind of thing. And you see a beep boop blorp. So the robot comes up and he's like, I apologize, I'll send him right away. And you see the robot just spinning like his little fan blades and just bitch slapping him. Figure's like, stop it! And he pushes the robot back with a crash. What have you done? Like, I couldn't just watch. It's like, time for a fight, Tanker. Like, hey, leave the bullying to us. I said, lame. This won't go down quietly. He said, good grief. Causes like, my sword. Yes, sir. I'll teach these robots how to treat guests. You see, Chaos immediately realized a serious problem. There was no information to read from the katana. Destroyed along with Geppa and then reproduced, it no longer held any biomagnetic information. Since Chaos reads and recreates the skills of its ancient Japanese sword master by psychometry, it was now no more than an ordinary blade in amateur's hands. So Chaos immediately lost his strength. He's like, ugh, so heavy. He's then getting surrounded by robots. He's like, oh, so many. He's like, big guys too. So we can talk about this. It's like lame. It's our policy not to go against strong guys. Marge's like, retreat everyone. Return to the orbital elevator gate. And you have a, whoa! This is beyond me. And you see Marge, Doc Ito. The robots are collapsing on them. And she's like, don't run if you're a man, fight. And Kevigger's like, hey, I'm carrying you to safety, you know. And he said, wah! As he jumps, you see the beam that he was running on just collapsing. He's like, we're falling! He's a glum in a swing. As something grabs him on the arm, rips him up and throws him onto the surface. And Jeff, phew! I was like, what? Something grabbed my hand. Here, you came at a bad time. It's like, ghosts and scallions are my only weakness. Like, may Buddha have mercy. It's like, hello, Mr. Space Ghost. May I take your picture? Jeff, I'm neither a ghost nor a scallion. And you see the person taking off their armor has these huge-ass boobies. Oh, Lord. It's Rem Ray. You see Rem Ray's in her little spacesuit. She goes, whew, my chest was killing me. My name is Rem Ray. I came to Catherius to see my uncle during the robot coup and couldn't get back. It's like, there's a robot? It's like, they're fine. They're followers of the ousted Lambda Namnam. Namnam is on our side. Yeah, I'm back, uncle. It's like, how was it, Rem? Well, this is Yanni, isn't it? I was like, I'm sorry, I failed to get a shuttle. It's like, no good, huh? It's like, who are they? It's like, pick them up. It's like, came from the surface to see Alita, huh? It's like, do you know where she is? It's like, I'm afraid not. We got split up in the chaos of the finals. I don't know where she went. With her power, the current chaos and Catherius could be solved all at once. The current robot king Hecaton's ways will one day draw the people's ire. They will get rid of the robots. And you see a little baby now, just the top piece of his head. And he goes, if you'd help me return as king, I promise to help you in turn. This is Nam? It's like, I recovered its brain from the remnants of the attack and fixed it up. And Rem's like, so is it usable? So all that's left is a final tune-up. So considering what we were left with, it came out pretty well. But we'll need a lot of power to boot this up. The robots outside are sure to notice. It's like, so there's no going back. So can someone explain what's going on? Rem goes, to put it simply, we're going to bust our way into the Robot King's place. So come to think of it, he probably knows something about Alita. It's like, yeah, that's all I need to hear. I'll lend a hand. You see the next page that Marge and Ito have been captured. Like, where are they taking us? It's like, so cold. Uh-oh, showing signs of hypothermia. Warn them with your generator exhaust. Yeah, okay. And you see an incubator. It's like, as per your command, we bought the intruders. He's like, hey, King, what do we do? Oh, fuck off. Hey, what do we do with the intruders? I say we execute them. And you see Elf and Swolf just kind of laying about. And you see, I am Hecaton Wobot, King and Dictator. It's like, what? And you see, Hecaton is 100 in Greek. And you see, humans, kneel before me and beg for my mercy. What? And you see fucking Deck, man. on this giant ass throne. Oh, what the hell? We have Alita Quest 18, final phase. You have Marge going, why did they just let us out? They must consider us Teferians with brain biochips as robot kin. And Alphonse Wolf are like, no, death, boring. Let's mess with the guy with the shades. It's like, no, 100, or rather King Hecaton. Will you tell us why you're doing this? You went to space with Alita. Why are you playing king here? He's like, I'm still Master Alita's royal servant. I'm waiting for my master's return. He thinks back to Alita, telling him, I need to ask you a favor. Our opponents are more powerful than the ones we fought before. I might not return alive. If I don't come back, I want you to bring Lou back from the brain inside this box. This version of Wu won't remember you. Why are you doing this? Alita goes, I've made so many promises. Debts I haven't been able to return. Hopes I was entrusted with. My battle is to fulfill every one of those promises. Lou is one of them. Jeff, what about your original brain inside the incubator? It's like, you knew? She goes, there's one promise I don't think I'll be able to keep anymore. The most important one. If at all possible. And you see a kaboom! S-Figure just busts his way in with the, we've come to rescue you, Doc! You have a cause. Like, why are you wasting time on one puny human? Get him! It's like, oh yeah? I also have a powerful ally with me. Get him, Shrimp! And you see a Foom... and a bash as the robot gets sent flying back. And you see Chibi Zex going, don't call me that. I'll kill you if you say that again. Ooh, scary. It's like, huh? Who the hell are you? It's like, Alita's missing? I'm sure she's alive. It's like, 6, but not the one that took my arm? It doesn't matter now. I'd give an arm and a leg to get Alita back. And you see Elephant's Wolf still just lounging around going, hey, Zex, no long time no see. You got so small since we saw you last. Zex goes, looks like you guys are still idiots. I'm glad. So we have no ambition, no plans. We helped number 100 to make a robot empire only because it seemed fun. You should join us. We're glad to have you as our doll. They both leap toward him. So you have a fash and a boom. As number 6 does the whole expanding balloon attack. You have, wait, this is... With the bash, just get both Elephant's Wolf gets sent flying. And you have... Chibi, I love Chibi Zex. Chibi Zex is the best. It's like, the war is over. You have Koyama going, wow, amazing. It's like his newly reconstructed body may be small, but it's still a Physiroid body. It contains as much energy as 30 regular cyborgs. Damn you. Don't complain. You destroy all of Catherius at full size. It's like, I fixed you guys and this is how you repay me? I'll have to discipline them. And you see, King Hecaton, I am Lambda Nam Nam. I demand you abdicate the throne. And Figure goes, tell us everything you know about Alita. And he's like, yikes, I... Nita goes, hold on. I have an idea. Let me handle this. And you see, 3 months later, is a carbonating Tank 3, Tank 5 DNA analysis at 87%, Tank 7 BFM at 32%, Tank 9 output complete, finalizing. I'm grateful to you, Doc. They would have dismantled me without your intervention. So it looks like it's going well. You have the truth went like this. After the riots as Embodies' illegal activities came to light, the existence of the incubator became known. They tried to cover it up as politically inconvenient. Lambda Nam Nam, who wanted to avoid confrontation with the humans, did not object. Number 100 in a panic got Elfin's Wolf's help to carry out the coup d'etat. Peace returned to Catherius, but there are still many problems for the coexistence of robots and humans, as well as with the surface and space. You see, the incubator is the device connecting 20,000 brains extracted from the Teferians at initiation. It is used as Catherius' public order system. I have high hopes for Chaos and Marge, who went to negotiate with the Orbital Federation Assembly. And you see, where's Figure? It's like Master Figure has been sitting in front of the output tank for 6 days. And you see, he seemed very tired. Have one. And you see Lou coming up to him, offering him a taiyaki. Or offering him some taiyaki. He goes, thanks. Like, have you gotten used to this place? She's like, pretty much. What was it like in the tank? She goes, I don't remember much, but I do remember someone gently calling my name. And you see, merci beaucoup for using BioViver's bioprinting services. Tank 9 has been finalized. All readings normal. Please come again for your printing needs. And you see they've printed Alita a new body. And you see there's one promise I don't think I'll be able to keep anymore. The most important one. If at all possible, let her fulfill my promise instead. I want her to forget about the life of combat and find happiness. And you see Figure embracing her as Hito goes, I'm happy for you, Figure, Alita. And you see Deckman going, I fulfilled my promise with Master, but my Wea Master is wandering through space alone somewhere. And you see Hito thinking, the other Alita, where are you now? You see somewhere on stage with a woof, Alita's walking through somewhere. We got Battle Angel Alita, Last Order, 19 end. Oh. Alright, so now that we finally come to the ending of Last Order, I think I have kind of mixed feelings on this overall, which isn't to say like it's bad or like anything like that, but it does definitely feel incomplete, which again in and of itself isn't really an issue, like a series feeling incomplete, like knowing that there is an extension and continuation of stuff like that isn't necessarily a problem or like a huge major issue, but I feel like it would have felt better if it felt like there was a more cohesive narrative or arc to Last Order. Like, I appreciate that Kishiro's kind of like trying to wrap up some loose ends that weren't wrapped up completely in the original series. So you have the reintroduction of Figure, you have the reintroduction of Ito as they're kind of like climbing into space. You kind of have a little bit of a, I don't want to say flashback, but you get to see like what's happening on the Earth resonance and things, which kind of wraps up the narrative of Earth's struggle for like freedom, independence, and all that. But given that it was kind of all backloaded so much at the end of Last Order, like it feels a little bit rushed and tacked on at the end, which is why I feel like it doesn't feel like a satisfying conclusion to Last Order. But like I said, like those are just my thoughts immediately after finishing. Like I mentioned a couple of other videos, I'm gonna have to reread the series, kind of take notes on it before I can kind of give a conclusive, more cohesive review on my thoughts regarding this. But yeah, it's good to see the characters from the original come back and seeing some of them having their arcs and narratives wrapped up. This has made me intrigued for Mars Chronicle and all the potential storylines of like more of Alita's past that's going to come through in that. Like I mentioned, I have a few other series to cover first before I do that, so I'm going to do those first. I'm going to tentatively say we'll get to Mars Chronicle early next year sometime, but keep an eye on the channel for like announcements and things about when that will happen, when that's going to come along. That said, I appreciate everyone that's hung around for my Battle Angel Alita read through up to this point. It was a lot of volumes, a lot of series, but it was a lot of fun. Definitely great sci-fi, which I'm typically not a huge fan of, but it is a really well done series. Like I said, I'm planning to do review videos for both the original and Last Order at some point. With that said, like I said, tomorrow look out for a channel update video as well as a read through for the newest Monsters volume, because the next one's coming out in September. I want to be ready for that. As always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Finally managed to reach 150 subscribers, for which I'm very grateful. And until next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.